a lot of motivation, well, yeah, I'd say 90% at least in my case, stems from actually being driven by the strength of your desire to reach that outcome. And that in essence is going to outweigh any sort of effort that you invest that's undirected. As long as there's a reason, even if that reason is just something as simple as necessity or survival, you have a far better chance of reaching your outcome than simply doing something because it's expected of you without really having in mind what you hope to gain from it.
Don't allow any problems that come your way to say to you, you cannot make it in life, give up. No.
People define love as sex, and that's not how it is.
My brain was capturing this for the last time so that when it goes off,
I respect myself,
So my mom single-handedly raised me. So
it's not all about the emotions. The emotions, you are having them
right now. It's also because we're competing, especially the system of
Love, uthando.
I believe I've seen God personally touching me.
They don't really mean sorry.
Realize how much you are worth and stop chasing the cheap hookups.
Like, I had a very positive mindset to say, you know what?
If you continuously say I'm tired, eventually you're going to be tired.
Guys, they are not true to themselves. Or
teenagers that actually know what they want to do.
You want to be a millionaire, you really need to chill with the millionaires.
People actually want to sell what?
Or a sweet or a something to.
Nice. I'm grateful for the life that I've gotten to live up until this point.
Tomorrow you wake up and you start reading.
You can lead anyone or anything.
So you see this graph, ne?
It's the SEC 15, which is our colon clean.
Looking at myself in the way God sees me, and that's
what I will tell you. I lost that 150,000.
How much are you getting paid for this? And I'm like, nothing.
Then 2017, I went into depression.
As your fatten.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our guest is Fred today, and we are the youth with a never say die attitude. So we go against all odds. So today, how do we talk to our inner voices in times of battles, in times of fighting? Because one of your utterances I actually came across, it was the matter that in life we have to fight, whether it's to fight poverty, it's to fight in relationships, but we have to fight. So during that warfare, there are inner voices that talk to us, and some of them can be negative, but I want us to address the ones that are negative at times, where we feel like we are not enough to do certain things. We're fighting a losing battle. Things are not going to be all right. How do we talk to ourselves during those times?
Yeah. Human beings are formed by three things. When the maker, without actually sounding religious, our maker made us in three formats. He made a human being to have the mind, which is what other people call the soul, and we've got the body, the flesh, and he made us to be a spirit man. This is the spirit within a person. So now he gave us the mind, which is the soul, to question things, to reason, and to always find what is it that is right and what is it that is wrong. Because now the spirit man can only do what is right, because it cannot really go out of line from what the maker has said it must be. So now the most important part, the engine, it's actually now the soul or the mind. So now how do we now equip our mind? How do we update the software of the mind? The thing that we need to update, or the way that we need to update the software or our mind, because there's always a battle of the mind. The battle is always taking place in the mind, is that we need to unlearn what we have learned. Because, for example, for a man who is 40 years old and he wants to become someone who's better, he wants to become successful. Now, it means that you need to unlearn all that you have learned in the past close to 40 years, so that now you can update the software and learn new things. If you used to wake up at 8 a.m. as a young person for the last 10 years, and now you've heard Fred speaking that you can't sleep for more than 10 hours if you don't have R1 million in your bank account. You need to sleep only 6 hours. So now it does not just happen instant like that. It's a process, because it took 10 years for you to learn what you are currently doing now. So I cannot expect you to break the 10 years habit in 10 days or in 10 weeks. It's going to take time. So now it means that for you to unlearn what you've learned for 10 years and to recover the 10 years that we have lost, the mind needs to be equipped super fast. If it means that daily you were spending, let's say, about 8 hours in a day having an idle mind, just being an ordinary man, and now you want to do some extraordinary things, and it was taking about 8 hours just having idle mind, then now it means that now you need to, let's say, double that, right? Have like 16 hours daily investing in yourself. You read great books. You read books that will challenge your mind, that will stretch your mind. You listen to great thinkers. You surround yourself with men and women of great visions. You surround yourself and you look up to the people that are 5 to 10 years ahead of you. That is the only way that one can literally, or that can really grow fast. You know, like I've got one of my guys some years back. We had a meeting. He's from Ranguwa. We had a meeting somewhere in, it was not Four Ways, in Rosebank. So now we're having a meeting in Rosebank. It was a formal meeting. Then I said to him, except my guy, like, we need to dress up properly because this is a very important meeting. And we're going, this is not like a casting meeting, right? We're going to Rosebank. So we're going to meet some serious people in Rosebank. And back then, it was not really a norm for people like us, especially from Pitori, to be going to Rosebank every day. No, like you go to Rosebank for serious occasions, just like you can't just go to Sandton every day back then for us. So it was like, yo, this is a serious occasion. So now we get to Rosebank and we were dressed up. He was literally dressed up. My guy was like, yeah, I'm really dressed up. Now, we got off the car, we parked the car. Then as we were walking towards the meeting place, we kind of like went through the center, through Rosebank, the center, walking. Then this is during the day. He is looking around. He's like, hey, Pella, now look at the time. Then people are just idling around. Look at so many people. Are they not supposed to be at work? Then he was looking at also the way the people were dressed. Remember, when he got out, Kokas, at his house, he was like, I'm the best thing ever. There is nobody who can match the way I'm dressed. But now, then he gets to the next level. He gets to Rosebank. Then when he got there, it's like, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm not dressed. He felt underdressed. You see what I'm saying? Because of now, he's meeting with people of not having the, I don't know what is the proper word, but then of an upper class, right? People who are more successful than him.
Different caliber.
Yes, I mean, people like, I mean, you would think that driving a Verpa in your location, it's a huge success. But now there will be places where now you come with the Verpa, like, oh my goodness, what is this guy doing with this his bicycle making a lot of noise? He's just making a lot of noise with this bicycle of his. At least if it was a Lamborghini Diablo doing this noise, maybe we'll understand. But now not with this Polo GTI of his. But now, when you're with your clan, you think that you are the big thing that there is around. So now, as I'm saying, that you need to surround yourself and look up to people that are 5 to 10 years ahead. This is the only way that you can really grow your mind. Read as much as possible. Get as much information as possible. And nowadays, the nicest thing is that everything is just www away from us. So we don't really have to go further. And some people say, okay, we are not readers. Well, the nicest thing is that we've got audios, we've got videos, we've got YouTube, where most of the info, if not all of it, it's right there in our fingertip. You can just click, then you listen to somebody that will really challenge your mind and get better. But then this has to be a routine, a daily routine. You know, some people were asking me, what do you do on your birthday? What would you do? Then I said, no, like I will do whatever that I need to do. If they throw me maybe a surprise party, that would be great. But I will make sure that that day does not go by without me researching, reading, and redefining who I am, getting better. It's okay. On the 21st on the 25th of December, on Christmas Day, what do you do? I'll make sure that I read, I research, so that I can be ready for my success. Any day for me, it's a day that I need to grow, because at the end of the day, I don't even know when will the creator, when will God actually take me, because we are not guaranteed tomorrow at the end of the day. So it should be a daily routine for us to grow our mind. But now, before you grow your mind, you need to let go of the old things that we were taught. The old, you know, sometimes we do, we do things that we are not aware of. There are routines that we picked up growing up, then we do them, and 10 years later, you are not even aware that you're doing them, but then you're doing them. So now we need to disrupt the mind. For example, tonight, when you go to sleep, watch yourself, which side of the bed are you going to get onto your bed with? Which side? And when you start thinking about it, you will realize that for a couple of years, if not 10 years, you've been using the very same side, but now you are not aware of it. It's only your subconscious mind that has been programmed that you need to use one side of the bed. So that is the programming. It did not just happen automatically. It started once, then twice, then once you start doing it, then the subconscious picks it up. That, okay, now I'm going to sleep. Remember, this is in your subconscious. Remember, go to the left, don't go to the right. But then should one day you decide that, okay, now I'm gonna go to the instead of going to the left hand side of the bed, now go to the right hand side. Now it's like you are teaching your subconscious, you are unteaching it, and you are teaching it a new thing. Now you are disrupting it. So now we need to learn to disrupt the subconscious mind, because there are a lot of things that we do unaware that we're doing them, and we keep doing them, and we just repeat it without being aware. So tonight, as I'm saying that, check which side. Then when you start checking it, you realize, oh, damn it, indeed, I've been doing this for all these years, not being aware.
Yeah, I want to try that out. I want to do that. I want to try that out and see what do I get. And
yeah.
I'm fascinated by your articulation on a like this point where a person must associate himself with with people that are knowledgeable. You even said it yesterday. People that are 5 years ahead from you. Now, this is the question I want to crack. Most of the time, when let's say my progress, I had 5 people, and my progress of accumulating knowledge, and I happen to accumulate knowledge to a point where I feel comfortable with myself, and these 5 people are no longer intimidating. And if you come with such an advice, I become so much comfortable to say, but what if I move to people who are 5 years ahead of me, while I can teach these ones? So all I'm saying, and I have a slight argument on this. The person is saying now, I say, because the whole thing that you're saying, it changed my life, and I pick up the principle in the Bible, under Proverbs, the one that says, you walk with wise people and you shall become wise, and if you walk with the fools, you will become foolish. So, or you will become a fool. So the person is saying, what if now you are wise and you go to fools to teach them how to be wise? Is that possible? Can you tell me your view on that?
My view on surrounding yourself with, yes?
Surrounding yourself with fools or people that are not smart as you are or wise as you are, just to change them, to say, now I'm going to change these people, you know.
So are you saying that, is it advisable to surround yourself with people of kind of like of lower class, people that know less than you?
What can happen if you do that? Is that something that you would advise one to do?
Well, we all of us, there is no one who can ever say that they've never learned a lesson, a thing or two, or received help only from the people of upper class, whether it be the richer ones, the more knowledgeable and more educated ones, the more smarter ones. We learn from every human being. Kids can even teach you. I mean, that man who sleeps underneath a bridge can teach you. But now when the scriptures, it talks about what you were referring to, it is actually saying that we should not spend most of our time, associate most of our time with people who are not of our faith, or with people who would actually take us away from our mandate. So now, the only people that are dangerous to our success are the people who are a threat to our mandate, are the people who would say, there are people that will discourage you to go read books or to go buy books. They will say, no, go, instead of going buying books, they would say, no, why with that money, why can't we go and buy booze instead of buying books? So now those people are a danger to your success. But now you do not need to kind of like shove them away. But now obviously you don't want to spend most of your time with such people, because of now, instead of them watering the seed, they are destroying it. So now you want to spend less time with such people, because the things that we don't have much time on earth, this is what we need to understand, is that we are not guaranteed for tomorrow. And as much as we're not guaranteed for tomorrow, why do we want to spend most of the time with the people that are actually taking us backwards? Because we want to spend most of our time with people that will really sharpen us. I mean, don't we want to be surrounded most of the times with people that will sharpen us? Because of now, when you spend a lot of time with the people that are sharpening you, right? Now you are able to be sharp enough to go back to the very same scenario, because now you want to spend a lot of your time with people that will kind of like take you out of the ditch, so that one day you will be equipped enough to go back to the very same ditch where abafethu bakho are there, and say, Bafethu, come, I'm here to you need to stretch your hand towards them. But now you cannot help people, or you cannot give that which you don't have. So when we equip ourselves, we are able to go back and equip others and empower others, but only if ourselves we are equipped, only if we are empowered. Because sometimes we think that we are guaranteed that this December we're going to see this December, but then forgetting that in our country daily, let's say about 6,000 people are dying. So what makes us think that no, I mean, on the 31st of December we'll see it? What makes us sure that COVID is not going to kill us? Because we are not guaranteed. So that's why every day We need to live as if it is our last day. That's why if you are a writer, you write today. You don't write tomorrow because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. If you're a business person, you start everything you started today. Everything you start today, so that at least there will be a legacy. At least you will continue speaking, even if you are no longer there. Today we are reading of people like Miles Monroe still speaks. He's still making an impact, even years after he had passed on. You can imagine if Miles Monroe decided that, wait a minute, I'm just going to write only 2 books, then I'm just going to relax a little bit. He would have deprived us from the gift that he had. I mean, today, lives are being changed by Miles Monroe, even though Miles Monroe is no longer there. You see what I'm saying? Because we need to understand about the seasons as well, especially as young people. You know, as a young person, Batley, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to God that I was able to do so much work that I was trusted with. I mean, when you check out the work that I've been doing through our nonprofit, Bunambaswa, for the past 16, 17 years, we've done so much. And now that I'm no longer in the age of youth, I know that I look as a young person. I just crossed on the other side, right? From being a young person. This is from being a 35-year-old. But now, it is now that I'm looking back, I'm like, yeah, there is this and that I could have actually done when I was still a young person. As much as people say, Patton, you have achieved so much. You've done so much for young people. When you were still young, I wrote my first book when I was 21, published it, printed only 10 copies because I could only afford 10 copies. I gave away 4. I gave away 4. I sold 4, and I kept 2 to myself, which one I still have the original copy of it. This is when I was still around 21, right? But now I'm thinking that, what if I did not do it when I was still 21? So I'm not guaranteed that tomorrow I will still be here. So we need to live a life as if like tomorrow we will be gone. That's why I always tell people that whatever that you do it like you're doing it for TV, because you will never know who is watching you.
Yeah,
Do
hot
it
man,
like you're doing
you're
it for
giving me
TV,
chills, eh?
because you will never know who is watching you. Like you are hosting these podcasts, you must do it like you are doing it for Oprah. Like you need to excel. Don't just do it like, let's just do this thing and let us. No. You need to excel. Like go flat foot all out, because you don't know what opportunity, who can give you an opportunity. Because maybe one day somebody can check and say, damn it, this boy, this is very good. Who is he? Let us Google him. Let us check him. Let us contact him. Like, say, my guy, can't you come and can you do this and that? I've had a lot of gigs, nice paying gigs, because of people saw me on social media, showing this and that. I remember when I started doing this motivational talk thingy, I was doing it at school. I would go to Tembisa schools. We would walk sometimes. I remember myself and this guy was working for one of the radio stations where DJ Swoo started. We would walk for about an hour and 30 minutes from Ekasla to this school, literally walking. No taxi fare, right? We would walk all the way. Then just before we get inside that school, we would make sure that we polish our not polish, but then just wipe our shoes and make sure that we are not sweating. We get inside that school, then they will give us not even the whole school, no assembly. We are not even qualified to speak in assembly. They will just give us grade 8. So like, here is the class of grade 8. You can motivate them. We're giving only 15 minutes because we need to be busy. We will hoy like it's crazy. Like we gave it all out. Then as we're doing that, we were polishing our skills. We were growing. Then up until one day somebody recognized, like, say, man, can you call these young people to come and speak to the church group or to come and speak to the youth group? This is how much we have. I remember like the first time after I did some workshop at Mbisa, I was not expecting anything. Then this old man, the librarian there, he gave me an envelope. I opened the envelope. Damn it, I got 700 rand. I was like, yo, 7 clipper. I did not even expect that, because of the excellent work that he saw. So we need to give it our all. Like we need to excel, because seasons, this is like a topic on its own. Seasons come, seasons go. You know, currently Ronaldo and Messi, they're in their season. It's like, you are not. You know, in 5 years' time, we will be saying, still remember Ronaldo, still remember Messi. I mean, look at the original Ronaldo of Brazil, the one that we know, the number 9, famous number 9 Ronaldo of Brazil. He's a big guy now, very big. He can't even run for more than 5 minutes. He will be like, he'll be sweating because of his season is no longer there. We look at some of the actors and some of the former footballers while they were still young. I don't want to mention them by names, but some of them, they are on TV here and there. When they were still in their season, these guys, they were excelling. Baba, they used to buy the Cavella. Remember this one, he was buying a Cavella. They say he will have a left leg he will be wearing a white Cavella. Then on the other leg he will be wearing a black Cavella. Things were very nice, and they were forgetting that seasons will end. One day this footballing career, it's gonna end because of season come and season go. And today, as we speak, this guy stays in a back room at home. And some of the footballers as well, they doing the same mistake, thinking that they will be in their season throughout. I'm not sure how religious you are in the things of especially Christianity. I'm not sure if you are familiar with the story of Joseph, when Joseph interpreted a dream to the king. This is just the story, right?
Yeah.
Not saying that people should be religious or what.
Yeah.
So now Joseph interprets a dream to this king. He says, okay, king, this is what's going to happen. The next 7 years, it's going to be 7 years of plenty. Because it's going to be very nice. Like, things are going to be very nice. Like, we're going to enjoy. It's going to be like Christmas for the next 7 years. But then there will be other years after that, 7 years or so, where now it's going to be, famine is coming. There's going to be nothing. So now you need to save. Then that's when the king said, no, don't tell me too much. You are going to be in charge. So now what this young man did, this Joseph, he saved as much as possible. While people are busy enjoying and spending all the food, all the money, they were busy enjoying, right? This one was saving for the country of Egypt. He saved as much. He was telling people every month, come and save, because we are in our seasons. But then one day, we will be out of season. Then one day, indeed, after 7 years, the famine hit, Papa. The whole world. Then you know who had enough? It was this country, Egypt. The whole world was going to Egypt because of Egypt was prepared. They were anticipating for the things that one day the famine is going to come. It's the same thing as, it's a lesson that we can also learn from the ants. You know what the ants do? During summer, the ants collect food, then they store them underneath. They collect food, then they store them. During winter, that's why you will never see ants. It's rare to see ants in winter. Why? Because they were preparing. I love to use the word anticipate. They were anticipating for winter. With us young people, we are not really anticipating for winter. We just want to get it now, we spend it now. You know what young people do? They get money fast. After getting money fast, they spend it fast. They drive fast cars. They lose that money fast. They get fat fast. They die fast. After dying fast, we forget them very fast. It's like the Fast and the Furious. This is what a lot of our people do. Is it true, or am I just making up stuff?
It's true. I mean, I can relate with that. I can relate. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just young, but there are brothers and sisters that I'm trying for now.
Yeah.
I see Khotbani. And now, getting out of the concept of associate, I want to question you because I've seen you around Date Mofokeng. Date Mofokeng is a very great guy. Looking him, he's been in the industry for a long time. I think right now he's on Scandal. What is it that you learned from him? And you know what was outstanding for you? Because I saw there's a place where you're working with him.
I've been privileged really and honored to work with him. And actually, the first time that we met, it was at a men's conference where both of us were actually guest speakers. They wanted an older speaker and the younger one, the keynote speakers. So I was very, very, honestly speaking, it was an honor, it was really an honor to share a stage with him and to say he's a guest speaker, I'm also a guest speaker. Then I believe that he was also impressed with the way I was putting things. Then from there, we kind of like met at other, and also I asked him that, can I learn a few things from you? Then that's how now we started working together. But then it's more of him mentoring me, because of the word mentor. It says that it's a man on a tour. It's like, here is Ntate Mofokeng, who has been there for many years, very successful man. And here is Fred. And now Ntate Mofokeng, he is touring. He's a man on a tour. So he is taking me along with. It's like, he says, okay, you stand there, you watch me do it. And after I do it, then we do it together. Then after we do it together, then he watches me now and says, okay, you do it alone. So basically, that's kind of like the type of relationship that we are having. One of the things that I've learned from him, amongst many great things, but then one of the main things, because of we are in the speaking space as well. We are in the personal development space. Besides him being in the entertainment industry, he is also a speaker in his other field as well. So this is where now me and him, we get to go along together. So now one of the things that he taught me is that, Fred, you need to be genuine. He says, we've got a lot of speakers and facilitators and people in the limelight who are just doing it for the sake of getting money and for the sake of being famous and impressing people. He says, we need to have substance. He says, when you speak to people, don't speak to impress, but you need to speak to impact. He says, Fred, when you tell people your success, you telling them, you are impressing them. When you tell people your success, they get to be impressed. Like, wow. But then he says, but then when you tell them your failures, you are impacting them. There is a metamorphosis taking place when you share people, amongst other things, your failures. So that is one of the few things that I've learned, that don't speak. Even not so long ago, we were together at some gala dinner in Polokwane, and he was saying to me, like when you speak, we are tired of fake people that just speak to impress. Don't know, we need substance, man. You must speak to impact, and if you don't have anything to say, keep quiet and learn from others. He says you must keep quiet and learn from others. So those are just a few things that I have learned from him. And on outside of actually what he has taught me, what he was saying to me verbally, but then what I've observed is that as much as you can be in the limelight, as much as you can have received the accolades that one has received, never allow them to control you. They must not get into your mind. Because sometimes, power. When you want to get to know a real person, if I want to get to know the real Bashe, for Bila, who are you? I need to give you two things. Number one, I need to give you access to power, authority, to be in charge of people. And also, I need to give you access to money. If you can have those two things, the limelight and money, I will know the real you. Right? All of us, we can be very humble. You will have people, now I'm very humble. When I get money, don't change me. I'll just be humble. Hey, wait a minute. Let us give it to you and let us see. When you want to know the real person, give them fame or give them a lot of money. Then you will really know the real them. So now, this old man, I've seen, he's been in the limelight for so many years. Very successful man. But then yet, down to earth. Very cool old man. And it is not controlling him, but then he has been learning how to control it. And the nicest thing, in his later years, he's giving back. He's impacting lives. So that's a little bit of Ntate Mofokeng wa Makgetha.
That's so interesting, man. And I'm super happy where I am because I thought, how like things work so divine. I've been curious to learn something from him. And this other time he came to University of the Free State and he was honored by the University of the Free State. So I was like, oh my God, I missed that. I wanted to ask some few questions because I ask questions for a living. So that's what I do. So I missed that. But now I feel like some of the questions that I wanted to ask has been like, you really answered them. And now I want to get to the point of the work that you do. You are a team builder.
Yes.
And that as well is so interesting. I want to question now, what's the common mistake or what's the common problem that you come across when you're building a team, or maybe when you help the team to grow?
Yeah. One of the common things that we've seen over the past 12 years plus is that as people, excuse me, we are very selfish. Just remember, in the team building space, you do activities. A lot of people, they will call it games, but then we've got games, we've got activities, we've got icebreakers. You will think it's one thing, but then they differ, right? So now during the activities, because the activity that we do, where you will think that no, these guys are doing just fun games, but then it's activities, we do them with a purpose. There can be a purpose of, okay, this one is all about trust. We're teaching people about trust. Maybe, for example, we would say we've got 10 chairs. This is what I've done a couple of years ago. I'm still doing them even now. We will stack 10 chairs on top of each other. Then Fred will go up. Then I will have 6 people facing each other, standing this way. Then they're going to count for me. Then on 3, I will be holding myself. Then on 3, I'm just going to let go of myself and trust that these people are going to catch me, which we call, some people will be familiar with, which we call trust fall. So basically in team building, we do what we teach you. When we tell you about you must trust, you must communicate, you must work together, we do them in practical. That's why kids, they learn fast, because of kids don't want a manual and say, okay, the manual says for me to walk, I need to walk this way. A kid, when she's 6-year-old, they don't need a manual. You don't teach, you don't read to them. Step 1, you need to, no. They just stand up, they walk, they fall. They stand up, they walk, they fall, right? So now also in the team building space, we do exactly that. We practice what we teach them, what we say. So now the most common things that we've seen in the team building space is that we see a lot of people, a lot of teams all across. I mean, we've been to a couple of countries around Africa, many different organizations, completely different ones. Same things always happens, is that a lot of people are very selfish. We are very self-centered. It's all about me. No, but then I want it this way. For example, we will have like color bandanas, right? If we've got 10 teams, we'll have 10 different color bandanas. Then when people go to choose the bandanas, if
the bandana?
The color bandanas, the ones that normal people will put it on their.
Oh yeah. I see now.
Bandana, yes. So we'll have different colors, so that we will see who belongs to which team. A typical example is that you will send me as part of the group. You will say, okay, Fred, please go take the bandanas for our team. When I go there, instead of me asking the team first, team, which color must I get? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get plus now I like pink. You see what I'm saying? It's no longer about the team. Yeah, I'm gonna get black. I like black. Or the other typical example that I show people how selfish people could be. It's a very nice activity that I would do. What I would say is that I will ask people to blow up the balloon. You can try this, but you can try this. You're gonna see it's gonna be the same thing as I'm telling you. I'll ask people to blow up the balloon. Then afterwards, I will ask them to write their names, just a single name, on their balloon, right? It's deflated, then they write their name. Then afterwards, I'll tell them, okay, please bring it forward to the stage if you've got a stage, or put them at the corner, all the balloons. Then I'll put them in that corner. Then I'll tell them, okay, please go back to your seats. Then I will say whatever that I say. Then I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to give everybody, I'm giving only 1 minute. In 1 minute, please quickly grab your balloon. 1 minute. Make sure that you've got a balloon. Or I would say, make sure that you've got your balloon in your hand. You've got only 1 minute. Then I'll blow the whistle. Okay, go. People will rush. You know what people are going to do? They will step on other people's balloons. They're going to pop them, pop, because they don't care about other people's balloons. They just want their balloon. They want their own. Then they will get the balloon. Then I will blow the whistle. Okay, stop, stop, stop. How many people don't have their balloons? Then people will be raising their hand. Then others will say, yeah, somebody stepped on my balloon. Yeah, why don't you step on my balloon? You popped my balloon. Then I would be saying to them, imagine in that minute, when I blew the whistle, you all rushed to those balloons. Whatever first balloon that you come across, you look at the name of that balloon and you say, okay, Mpo, I've got your balloon. So and so, I've got your balloon. Fred, here is your balloon. Everybody probably was going to have a balloon at the end of the day. And we were not going to step and pop on each other's heads or balloons because we were not selfish. But then, no, we don't care. We're just rushing. We just want ours. So that's just one.
I like that. I like that. As you saying it, I'm thinking in my mind, if they did not step on like each other's balloon, what's the better way to do it? So I like the solution because it's gripping my mind because I never thought of it that way, and I realized that is the opposite of selfishness.
So yeah, I hope it answered your question. I go to the Bible. If I want to know about the relationship matters, I go to the Bible. If I want to know about money matters, I go to the Bible. A few years ago, I meet a friend. He's a Chinese guy. He's got a very massive shop, very successful, multimillionaire. He said to me something that I will never forget. It really provoked me. He said, Fred, you see this parking lot. He says, show me which is your favorite car. Like, or which car would you buy if you had a lot of money? I looked around, then I see this Range Rover Sports. I say, yeah, this one, I will buy that one if I had money. He said, you know that Range Rover, if I wanted it, I would buy it today cash. He says, but now I don't do it. And I don't need to do it. He said, what I have seen you South Africans doing is that every day it's Christmas. I will never forget those words. It is every day. The problem with you black people in South Africa is that every day is Christmas for you people. You spend on things that you don't even need to impress the people that don't even care. You know that sometimes we buy things that actually we don't really need them, but then we do it so that we can impress people that don't actually even really care. He said, you see, I am working. I'm self-employed. I've got a business. He says, not for me, because my father, in fact, he said, my parents have left enough money for me to survive for the rest of my life. He says, because they were working for me. He says, and then how did they manage, my parents, to do that? It's because of they parents, meaning my grandparents, worked so much that they left enough for my father. So that's why now my father is actually working for me. He says, now, this is how the Chinese are doing it. He says, even me, I'm not working for myself because already I've got enough, which is what my parents have left for me. He says, now this Chinese friend of mine, I met him and he said something that was really profound and really challenged the way I see success. Is that we think that success, when I'm successful, that success is, for example, only money. But now, because of you asked me about the wealth part of it, remember there's a difference between being rich and being wealthy. Being rich, you can have money, a lot of money, but not being able to sleep at night, being sick, having depression, while you are even a billionaire, not enjoying your money. That is not wealthy. Being wealthy is more than just having money, but it's also being at peace with the money that you have. It's being able, when we say you're really wealthy, it's when you give money and without even asking questions, without even saying ish mara, but then you just give without even expecting anything back and without even having wrong motives. So now this guy said, we as the Chinese, what we do is that when we create wealth, we don't create it for us. We don't really work for us, but then we're working for the two generations that are coming after us. You would say, I'm doing this for my kids and for my kids' kids, because already with me, my parents have done it for me. My grandparents have done it for my parents and for me. He says, already I'm fine. I'm sharp. I'm just
Wait,
doing
Hotman,
this.
who's giving you this advice? Who's giving you this advice?
This is a Chinese millionaire friend of mine. Multi-millionaire guy. So he's saying that this is now how you need to create wealth. It should be generational. You should not say, I'm wealthy because of now. You are maintaining a lifestyle. You know, we start businesses in order to maintain a lifestyle. He says that's a wrong motive. Never start a business. Don't want to be rich or wealthy because of you want to maintain a lifestyle. Just no. So that there can be a generational wealth. You need to pass it on to your kids. Pass it on to your kids' kids. So now, just a quick one on the Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes, without sounding religious. What I read this, actually, I learned this from one of my mentors in Zimbabwe, called a man called Milton Kamwendo. A great, one of the best facilitators and speakers in the whole continent of Africa. So I had an opportunity to work with him, and in fact, I do all his team buildings. So he's the one who actually helped me to travel all over Africa, and we do a lot of strategic plannings and team buildings together. Well-informed, a man of wisdom. So he shared with me this while we were going, I think, to Vumba or somewhere. It was a 3 hours drive, the two of us, in the middle of nowhere in Zimbabwe. Then he shared with me the book of Ecclesiastes. It changed, it blew my mind. It talks about wealth, talks about making money. Listen to what it says. Fortunately enough, I've got this Bible in front of me. It says, cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. Then it says, give a saving to 7 and also to 8, for you do not know what evil will be on the earth. You know, what does it mean?
What it means?
An average millionaire, they will tell you that an average millionaire has a 6 to 7 streams or different streams of income. Where did they take it? The Bible itself, it says, give a saving to 7 and also to 8, for you do not know what evil will be on the earth. Because you can be a footballer today, but now season will change where you will no longer make money from football. Then what? You can be an actor today, but now there will come a time where the acting part, that season, it ends. Then what? So now that's why it says here in Ecclesiastes chapter 11 that give your saving to 7 and also to 8, meaning that have 7 to 8 different streams of income, no matter how little it is. And I like it when it goes down. He says, he who observes the wind will not sow, and he who regards the cloud will not reap. Because most of the times we think that, no, it will happen. I think that it will happen. But now you are just watching, and you're not going to sow. Then when you go down with it, it says, I like this one. It says, in the morning, sow your seed and in the evening, do not withhold your hand, for you do not know which will prosper, either this or that, or whether both of them will prosper. You know what does that mean? It means that if you're working for a company, for a government, for an organization, it says in the morning, you are sowing the seed, you are working. But now in the evening, when you come back from your work, you do not stop. Because of now you were helping somebody to grow the business, to be rich at work. This is 8 to 4. But now when you come back at home from making somebody rich, from making somebody prosper, you do not withhold your hand, but you keep on sowing the seed. So now you invest now in yourself. You keep on working. And it says now, have 7 to 8 different streams of income. That's how, look here, even the Jews, you know, the richest of the rich, the Jews, that's how they're using this principle. You don't have one stream of income. You've got different, even myself, I'm a speaker, I'm a team builder, but then I sell cookies, I deliver cookies, I'll be doing other things. Because of one day, this thing can stop. I mean, there was a time where the team building industry and everything, especially when the COVID hit, everything stopped. Literally, we were not allowed to meet with other people. Then there was no income at all. Then what? So now you see, if you've got 7 to 8 different streams of income, that's how wealth comes to you. Because the Bible says, for we do not know which one will prosper, whether this one will prosper, or whether that one will prosper, or whether all of them will prosper. That's the only way for us really to build wealth. Wealth, that's how it's been built. You can even go and ask any multimillionaire. They will tell you that this is how they do it. So we don't have time to be sleeping and be having an idle mind. We've got a lot of work. So meaning that we do what other people don't want to do in order for us to have what other people won't have.
Yeah, Hotman, you mentioned your ways of making your own income. And you also a chicken farmer, come to realize. Tell me about the need of ownership as a person.
Real wealth is when you are owning things. When we don't own anything, then we are not really wealthy. It's like we are the stewardship. We are just being borrowed. Anytime it can be taken away from us. But when it's the same as when you've got your own land, it's your own house, you've got a title deed, it belongs to you. So we need to be the owners. You cannot say that God bless you, that you are successful with a big, not a big, what do you call it, a Mercedes Benz, while you're still paying the bank. That is not a success. You owe in the bank. Why you call that success while you own the bank? Call it a success when you've got the papers, when it is yours. Then maybe you can say that, yeah, I'm blessed, or I'm successful. It's the same as with houses as well. Like we need to own the things. It's very important that, especially as Black people, there need to be things that we can own. Even if one day that the season ends, then we will know that at least this cup, and it was not borrowed. It is still mine. I own it. Even if should it means that now things get to be bad, but then I will still keep this cup to myself because of it's mine. Unlike one day when the owner of the cup says, I borrowed you long enough, now I want it back. Then now I no longer have that cup. Then what? So that's why don't go into social media and start pretending to be and working hard, pretending to be successful while you know that things are very bad.
Okay.
Oh, social media is very dangerous.
I like the example of a cup. You know, I was listening to Simon Sinek one time. He was telling a story that there's this guy was working at this firm. So when he get there, he was given a cup. He was like served with everything. But when he lost his job, when he come back, he had to pour himself coffee. He was appointed to fetch a cup somewhere. So I love that idea. And I think it's the second last question, this one. The spirit of entrepreneurship, Hotman, it's one thing that permeates right now. It's one thing that is fashionable right now. What do you see in this thing that is happening around the space of entrepreneurship? Is it something that you'd recommend more? Is it a good thing that you think we should go for? And do you think it's authentic? Because I've also come to realize that some of our people would start things because Fred has started something. I'm questioning the authenticity of the entrepreneurship that you see, and what advice would you give to real entrepreneurs?
I would really love to see our government, which is really failing us in many ways, actually encouraging, supporting, sponsoring, and really driving the entrepreneurship issue from even the school level. At least when you get to high school, even if you can offer it as one of the subjects, because entrepreneurs are the only people in this world that can actually take our society out of poverty. White people, these big companies that we see, that our black parents are working for, that our sisters and brothers and our cousins and colleagues are working for, which 98% of them are owned by white people. They started as entrepreneurs. Then look at how big, how massive these companies are. So the only way that we can really get out of this mess that we are in, especially of poverty, it's that we need more entrepreneurs that can take us out of it. We need to encourage it from an early age. That's why it's a problem. That's why it's a very big problem that as soon as you complete high school, then your parents are going to say, go to Umlungu, go to this company, go work for a white man, even though they can say it in the other way around. But then in actual fact, it's like you go to a white man will give you a future, a white man will give you life. But now when you want to start on your own, I remember with me when I started this industry of team building and school camps and motivation, that it did not make sense because there was nobody that we know this thing, we don't think it will work. Just go look for work. And who am I going to look for work at? It's a white person. Go to a white person and the white person will give you the work. And in actual fact, we're only getting the crumbs. So it's unfortunate that the government is not really coming on board as hard and as fast enough to help a lot of entrepreneurs. This is the only way that I would really encourage young people to really get into it. But now you need to understand that with entrepreneurship, it's not as lovely as it looks. It's a 24 hours work. You need to cut a lot of things. You stop. I mean, I believe that with you. I mean, look at yesterday. We had to do this. Then it had to stop because of some challenges. And now here again, you are still committed on a Sunday doing this, while you could be having some fun at some club, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But now you are committed to this. So entrepreneurship, it needs a lot of discipline. If you don't have a discipline, you will be like the 80+% of many businesses that get to be registered at CPRO, but then within 12 months, they are not functioning. You know that they say 80% plus of new businesses, they cease to exist within a year because people think that, no, I'm going to start this company, then automatically things are going to start happening. I mean, I registered my business for 2 years. For 2 years, I only made, if I could remember vividly, there was something like just under 8,000 rand, 7,000 something. In 2 years, I only invoiced 2 organizations, which one I think I was running a workshop, then the other one I was running a youth camp, a 3 days youth camp. And all of them, when I combined those invoices, both of them, they were like 7,900 or something, just under 8,000. In 2 years, I got only 2 gigs in 2 years. So now you need to be consistent and really enjoy what you're doing and really be like, the passion can come later, it's fine, but then be committed to your commitment. We need to be committed to the commitment that we put in. It's not easy to be an entrepreneur. It's not easy, but then it's worth it. You need to ask yourself why. When you get into something, when you get into an entrepreneurship space, Before you can go any further, sit down, ask yourself, Fred, why do I want to get inside this? And what is it that I want to see in the future? Then when you can answer those things, that's when now you can continue with the journey.
All right, Khotmane. And I see you a person who's very, very inspired by humility. I think I saw Joshua Salman quote on your timeline. Tell me about humility, because I believe is one thing that you have demonstrated to us as well. Because we just, a small company growing up, getting people like you, and it is very difficult to get people like you. I was thinking to my mind that what a sense of humility that got into you when you say yes to our invitation. Tell me about the spirit of humility in you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The thing is that it's I find it a little bit funny when you say that it was very difficult to find people like me. No, man. What's so special about me? You just get hold of my numbers. You call me. This is what I'm doing. Here is our profile. Then I see, okay, these guys are legit. Let us just do it. It's just that the problem with us people, we think that you appear once on radio or you appear once on TV. Then I've made it. I'm a celebrity. Then when you call me, I'm gonna check at my schedule. Hey, no, my schedule is busy. That's just nonsense, man. That's something that is actually it's a topic for another day. That is really discouraging. A lot of young people like you think that it's gonna be very difficult to get people like me, because hey, people have made themselves to be gods, like they want to be worshipped, and it's so, trust me, it's so easy to get these guys, and these guys, they are not busy, they pretend to be. Trust me, I know all of them. I mean, I would get on a call with Mama Yvonne Chaka Chaka, the person that you would think this should be the most busiest human being ever. But then I know them. I've been in a space of all these people. I know them. I know how they work. Sometimes they will, you know what they will do? They will even respond to your email and say, so and so, Mr. Fred is not available. Sorry, is not available. Please, I will. They will respond to your email while it's the very same person. Ne? So please do leave your message and his diary and this and that. Then they will sign, instead of sign Fred Bohasu, they will sign Bashi so and so. But then while in actual fact there was a very same person who was talking to you, pretending as if like they're busy, and in actual fact they not. So one thing that I've learned from some of the people that I follow is that's why the people that I follow that are very close to my heart, that I follow very closely, even though not in person, that they are, who are my mentors as well. Two things that they need to have, because this thing is a spirit. It's very contagious. Two things. Number one, the person for me must have humility. And number two, the person must be humble. If I say you are a leader, you don't have these two things, it's going to be very difficult. Because if you are rude, if you are greedy, if you are selfish, that thing is going to be passed on to me. You see what I'm saying? So now that's why I would follow people that are really, their humility, it's amazing. Like you were saying about Joshua Salman, their humbleness are very amazing. You know, this is the same as very humble people. So it's very important. You know what happens? Humility and humbleness, it teaches you to always be governable. You are always teachable. You are always controllable. God can control you. You can be trusted with a lot of things. Then when you've got those two things, the higher you go, the more you realize that the things of the world don't really matter too much. What matters is for me to fulfill my purpose, which is mainly to impact lives, whether it is through me drawing, it's through me singing, it's through me playing sports. That's when you realize that I'm here to make this place a better place. That whatever that I have, I've been given this money, I've been given this so that I can share with others, so that I can make an impact with the gift that I have. Then realize that, man, this celebrity thing, it's I've appeared on TV, I've received so many accolades. You can name them a lot of things that could have made me to be, Nagi celebrity, to look at me. Those things don't really matter, my guy. What matters the most is that I'm giving you an opportunity because of I was once given an opportunity by other people who were probably on my space as well. So why not also? It's all about passing on the baton to others. So I love humility. I'm still learning. I'm not yet there. I'm still far, but the little bit that I am having, I think that it is making an impact.
Thank you so much, Khotmane, and thank you for respecting us with your time. One last question is what you've got to say about this platform, Asvaye Kasi Explorer.
You guys are doing an amazing work. You must never ever look down on yourself and say, we are just exploring. You guys need to grow, be big. I mean, Oprah started as something very small, and look at where it is right now. So don't start and in the middle of nowhere you stop. You guys, you need to grow. Get as many big guys like get guys that I will go like, how did they get this one? Try them. Go all out. If they reject you, it's fine. You keep asking them until you bother them so much that they say, let me just give this one a chance. And when you get that chance, my guy, never ever misuse the chance. Go all out. Like when you ask them questions, blow their mind with some of the questions that you ask them. Then they go like, wow, I've been on SABC, I've been on all these major channels. These big guys have asked me questions, but now this is the greatest question that I've actually ever heard from a young person like you. So you guys must go all out. You're doing an amazing work. I love what you guys doing, and basically from now on, I'll also be following more on what you guys are doing. And this is a great movement that you've started. Never look down on yourself. Just grow. Learn from the best in your space. Then that's how you will also grow as well. Look up to those that are in your space who are 2, 3 years, 5 years ahead of you. Go international as well. You look up to them and you bring it home and you run with it.
Thank you, Enkosi kakhulu Bhuti ngexesha lakho, and maybe one day we'll meet. Only mountains cannot meet. My grandmother told me that, actually said, only mountains that cannot meet. And you're also doing a great job. I mean, I've seen what you're doing. You're also doing a great job. So may God bless you abundantly. And thank you so much for respecting us with your time again. To me, it means a lot.
Thank you very much, my guy. I really appreciate my brother. And yeah, may the Lord shine his face upon you. And all the best. You will make it.
Thank you.
Don't forget to follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Asvaye on Facebook. Follow Asvaye and share the conversations. Question people about mentality